Hello and welcome to the Learning Reading Hub. This channel is all about learning to read, so if you're interested in this topic, consider subscribing. Today I'm going to be talking about a pretty basic phonics rule, which is ideal for beginner readers. But don't misjudge the term basic. I use this term because this rule is really easy to understand. It works almost 100% of the time, and therefore you can really teach a young child this rule. But that doesn't mean that this rule is not important. No. On the contrary, knowing these sort of simple rules can really make a huge difference on your child's reading level and also on your child's spelling capacity. The rule that I'm talking about is the C and K rule, because these two letters make the same sound, k, at least sometimes. Because, as you will learn, the letter C sometimes makes a different sound, and we normally teach our kids that the letter C makes the k sound. And that is not 100% true, because the letter C can also make the S sound. So, when does the letter C make the hard k sound, and when does it make the soft S sound? And when should we use the letter C and when should we use the letter K? These two questions actually go hand by hand and are answered with the C and K rule. And now, without further ado, let's get started. When does the letter C make its hard sound? K. The letter C makes the K sound when it goes before the vowels A, as in cat, or car, O, as in cot or cop, and U, as in cat or cup. When does the letter C make its soft sound S? The letter C makes its soft sound S when it goes before the vowels E, as in send or place, and I, as in city or cinema. By the way, in the word place, there's a magic key rule as well going on. If you don't know what that is, I recommend you watch our video about the magic key rules. So, what do we use when we want the K and K sounds? We use the letter K, as in kite, Kelly, or king. And what about the letter Y when it actually takes the place of the vowel I? In this case, for the hard sound K, we use the letter K. The Y, as we said, is taking the place of the letter I. And as we learned before, we use K before the vowel I. This is something you will find especially at the end of words. Sky, chunky, murky. Sometimes we actually need CK, as in tricky. But this is something that goes beyond the scope of this video. If you have a more advanced reader that has already been introduced to the concept of vowel teams and how two vowels team up to make one sound, in order to decide if you need to spell the word with a C or a K, you actually need to look at the sound that the vowel team makes. For instance, in the word keep, the two E's are making the E sound. Should we use the letter C or the letter K? If we were to spell this word with the letter C, taking into account all that we've learned, the C would make its soft sound S. The word would be read something like sip. So, in this case, we need the letter K. In the word cool, is it a C or a K? The two O's are making the U sound. In this case, before this sound, the C would make its hard sound K. So, we need the letter C. As I said, this is maybe for more advanced students. However, I just wanted to make you aware that the key here is the actual sound that these vowel teams make. As you have just learned, this is a pretty simple rule, but it may take a while for children to remember when to use one sound or the other for the letter C. As always, practice is key. If you want a little trick, I always like to give extra tricks for those that stay until the end. Then when you're reading with your child, just ask your child to sound out the letter C with both sounds and see what makes sense for the word that he or she is reading. The first step is for children to remember that the letter C can actually make two different sounds, because normally, as I said at the beginning, the instruction is just to teach our kids about the letter C making the K sound, and they just get too fixated on that. Another very popular trick, especially useful for spelling purposes, is using these two drawings. We first draw a big C, which is going to be the face of a cat. We add two little A's, which are going to be the eyes of the cat. Then we add the letter O, which is going to be the nose, and the letter U is going to be the mouth. Next, we draw a big letter K, which we're going to transform into an actual kite. Inside our drawing, we add the letter I and the letter E. If you found value on this video, I would really appreciate if you could hit the like button, because that really helps the channel. And if you're interested and enjoy these type of contents, don't forget to subscribe. Bye, and see you on the next video.